This is the Renaissance Men Podcast, broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch. Now please welcome your host, Stuart Garrard.
Good evening and welcome to episode 174 of the Renaissance Men Podcast. I am your host, Stuart Garrard, and joining me is my good friend, Jimmy the Sainter.
Hey, there they are. Hello, people out there. Hello, Stu.
Hey,
It's my new online voice. What do you think?
I hate it.
Oh, I have to go back to normal.
So I was a bit loud in my own ear holes there. So I'm just turning myself down. Just turning myself. I know how irritating I can be. Turning myself down. There we
turn
go.
you up.
Turn me on, turn me up. Jimmy.
Yeah.
The Saint. How's your week been? We're here again. It's Friday night. It's live.
It's been great, Stu. It's been a great week. Lots of, as I always have to say, lots of work done.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lovely after the show last Friday. Went on to watch the finale of Picard, which was an absolute joy. You know, filmed myself watching it. I tell you what, did I tell you what I did do though the other week? This was funny. People know out there I filmed myself watching Picard, and then we put out the reaction videos.
We do.
But the other week I had a couple of friends pop by in the middle of me filming it. So I had to stop it, which was a bit annoying.
Which episode are we talking here?
It was one of the earlier ones. Luckily, it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't Crygate. It was one of the early ones. I would have been furious if that would happen. But I left the camera set up, and they sort of came in, and they had a few drinks, and they're like, "What's this?" I'm like, just filming myself. Don't worry about it." And I forgot.
Sounds dodgy.
Yeah, massively. But I forgot that my camera on my phone, when it sees a face, will just start recording.
Okay.
And I recorded us for about 6 minutes, and a
Outtakes.
private conversation. And when I told them, they're like, "What did we say?" I'm like, "Well, I'm saving it. I'm saving that. Never know when I might need that
That's
ammunition."
That's great. That's money in the bank. That is right there.
Right.
You know.
It's like when the guy at work sent round a picture of his penis to everyone. Never told you about that?
You're self-employed, aren't you? So
yeah, it was me. My own WhatsApp group, just me in it. No, years and years ago when I worked for another company,
gotcha.
A chap accidentally sent round a picture of his penis on the WhatsApp group.
He did. Of course.
And I mean, this was 12 years ago or something. I've still got it.
You never know when you might need that.
Never getting rid of that. It's because his face is in it as well. It's one of them. Brilliant.
Wait. I was trying to picture the angle.
He's got very long arms.
Wow. Okay. Well, fair play to him. That sounds
great. It's a great picture.
Colossal.
Sometimes I show it to people and they go, "Why have you got that?" I go, "You never know." So it's just a little thing about being wary of social media. Remember, your camera will start filming you when you don't want it to. Yeah. And if you send around a picture of your penis to people, they will keep it. I will keep it. Yeah,
Jimmy will keep it.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
Well, other than that, have you anything exciting to report to me? Is that it? Something that clearly happened many weeks ago.
Yeah, but I forgot to tell you about it. I painted my bedroom.
Oh, yes, you did. I saw that. Yeah. Notes. I had all my exciting stuff on my line, and then Jimmy painted my bedroom.
Yeah, but I painted it a dark orange, and that is very unforgiving when you use that color. Like you get that paint on anything, like plug sockets, light switches, the coving. It's a stressful scenario. You end up painting a lot more things orange than you plan to. The one whole side of a wardrobe, for example, is now orange because I've just gone over a bit. Okay, so let's just do this, and we've gone over it again, and slowly but surely, the whole room, the carpet, and you are orange. Finished. Wonderful.
I always like the Mr. Bean method. Oh, you remember this episode where
I don't. Remind
he's
me.
doing DIY and he wants to paint. He wants to like emulsion his whole room white. So he gets a tin of paint and like a massive, I think it's a massive firework, puts in the tin, tapes everything up like oranges and just like objects on his shelving. And then he just kind of waits and lets it off. But there's a moment at the very end where a man comes into the room he's painting to collect his hat just as it goes off. And there's like a silhouette of the man reaching for his hat and then just white all around it. It's brilliant. A brilliant visual gag.
Yeah.
That's why I love
a lot of effort got into that.
Yeah. Oh, well, it sounds like you had a tough, well, I don't know. It's not pleasant painting a room, so I'd say that was not a good week for you.
Do you know what? It's quite therapeutic painting a room.
Yeah.
For me, for two reasons. One, my job that I do just sort of never ends. It's constant. You complete it and you have to go again. You complete it, the task, you go again. Like many jobs. But when you actually
all jobs, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. No, but some jobs you're just sort of doing the same task. Mine is like a whole roller coaster and then it ends and then you've got to do another roller coaster. Whereas painting a room is very just, it's finished. You're done. I don't get really to complete stuff in my job. So it's nice completing it going, that's done. And if any of the kids are calling me, I can't go to them. The wife has to deal that I'm painting, that it will dry. I have to carry on. So it's quite therapeutic.
Been painting that bedroom for
6 weeks now. And we both said 6 weeks.
It's lovely to have you with us as always, my friend.
Yeah, lovely to be here.
Let's acknowledge those who are in the chat early. Some early adopters. Neil J is with us. Welcome, Neil. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments on the videos during the week as well. Mookie MC. That's a name I haven't seen before. Apparently, it's the mystery cock photographer. After I sent that photo of my privates out, I got the nickname Shorty. Coincidence? Maybe. Bear with me whilst I cough.
No, I think you just got a stumpy one. Yeah. What they called? A chode? Is it a chode?
Chode. I've never heard that expression before. Is that what for a micro penis?
A short, fat willy. I think it's called a chode or a chud. I think it's a chode.
Chode. Alan D. Generous. Rowan Atkinson is very active with Britain First now. Okay.
Yes.
No.
Hang on.
That's not right, surely.
Britain First is what?
Isn't that like that's the rebranded National Front, isn't it?
I don't know. I know he's. I think he's sort of
right wing, is he? I didn't know that.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's really right wing. I think a lot of people who are lefties, have been put. Sorry,
gone full circle.
Jesus, have been pushed right because the left have gone so far left.
Oh, it's confusing.
So you end up being on. Oh, crikey! Sorry. You end up being. Can you not hear that going off? Oh, okay. No. Get the Facebook messages. You end up being on the right because the left have gone so far left.
Right.
It's like who wants? Yeah, it's like when you're all in a line and they go, "Who wants to volunteer?" And everyone else, apart one person, steps backwards, and you're left there. So I think that's what Ron is. I'll be surprised if he's gone all National Front,
shaved his head, and there you go.
Well, he's got a bit John Cleese, I think.
Mookie MC, I enjoyed the Picard reactions. Just to edit or play a role. To be honest, mostly all Jimmy. He is the talent on the screen. I put some screenshots up.
Yeah, and the words,
and the words, the nuts, and the little thing in the corner. That's me done. Yeah. But do you know what? I haven't had a chance to say this because I wasn't watching the series that you were reacting to, but I felt a part of it. I felt I was whisked along the journey with you, and when I was editing those like final 2 episodes, I was getting emotional myself.
Wow!
And I wasn't actually seeing the action on screen. I was editing. It's quite a strange process. I had you on one screen, and then I was going through like the screen grab resources that I had, And it's almost like going through the episode of Picard like a flip book. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice going on that journey. I think it's been a great success. Well, stellar numbers on our last 2 videos for you, Jimmy. So I doff my cap to you.
But it's credit to the show. Like I'll make my comments, and to be honest, like I usually don't talk through films or TV shows and get annoyed when people do. Right? I get annoyed if someone's trying to talk to me because I'm going to miss this. But when you're talking to no one, it's quite nice. I can just say my little comment that I want to say, and then carry on watching, and it doesn't get annoying. But it was lovely watching it, and the show was just so wonderful. Like all my reactions are real. You know, I could film myself watching one of the episodes of Manda, and I'm like this. You know, like
well, that's what it would get. That's what it would get out of you, isn't it?
Whereas that season of Picard is just like me, like that.
Yeah, very much so, and it's great. It's very infectious. Do you know what? It's I've done nothing but watch bloody Star Trek stuff since you've kind of got animated.
John Simmons Scale Modeler has started watching Next Generation.
Is he? There you go. True. That's a true testament to the power of the reaction.
Lacey in the chat. How do?
Mookie asks, it's good to see your glasses are no longer fogged up. No. What?
With the crying episode, my glasses, I couldn't wear them.
Oh, yes. You had to take them off, didn't you? Yeah.
By the end, they'd steamed up.
Yeah. I had to go on your head. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
It was, thank you, Mookie, for your comments. And I'm glad you've enjoyed the reactions. I'll just quickly sum up my week and then we'll get into this, shall we?
If you could.
Yeah, so I'll move on.
No, because you've got a really interesting thing to talk about.
Yes. Now, I want to ask your opinion on this, and any parents in the chat. Have we said hello to Lacey? We did, didn't we? Hello, Lacey. If we haven't,
yeah,
Lacey.
So
I my boy goes to a local school. Obviously, that's the law. And he's 6, and I didn't know that it was coming up to sex education. I can't even say the word. It's flustering me so much.
Yeah.
What he said, sex education.
Wow.
Now, granted, I think in year 1, as he is, they don't do very much. It's all about kind of just, can you name that part?
How old is
he? 6.
And what, they've got like a naked man in front of them?
I don't know.
And they get, name this?
Well,
name this bit?
Who knows?
Pull that skin back.
We get an email from the school to say, we're going to, they do these like shared learning sessions where the parents are invited into the school to, spend the afternoon creating something. I think last time Amanda made a bird feeder, which was quite cool. Chucked it in the bin. But she did it, and it was a pleasant shared experience. This time they're saying, right, come in and join in our sex education with your son or daughter.
Isn't that ironic, Stu? Because isn't that what you call your penis?
What, my son?
The bird feeder.
Oh, the bird feeder. Oh, that's good.
I've seen you writing that on toilet walls.
That's superb. That's first class. Little Pecker, I think, is what I used to call it. So yeah, to me that seems a strange concept. I don't remember doing sex education until, I swear, I was 19.
No, I remember us doing sex education, Stu.
I don't remember that. I don't remember. It seemed quite late.
We were 10.
Really?
Yeah, we were at Mersey School.
Yeah.
It was the first time that the year before the last one had done sex. Usually it was the top year, but it was the first time, and we went in with that top year, and then we did it again the following year. And we watched a video in the big hall, and then afterwards we went into class with, I think, Mr. Hanscom.
Okay.
And we could ask questions.
All right.
And Danny Nichols,
yeah,
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
he asked, "What is muff diving?"
Oh, lovely stuff.
And Mr. Hanscom said, "I think you know what it is, but if you don't, you can talk to me afterwards."
I don't remember that at all, but I wish I did. That's a great anecdote, Jimmy. Welcome, Midian. Midian's in the chat. Hello, Midian. Welcome, sir. Renaissance Men alumni, legend amongst men.
Walked into a right dodgy story. Oh, and Door C1.
Yep, welcome. I wonder if these are side salads mates that are coming through again.
Adam Howden.
Adam Howden, we should say. Yeah, sorry, Adam Howden, legendary voice actor.
So anyway,
had him on the show. Yeah,
they're going to do sex education. They've invited you into the school.
Yes.
To learn as well.
Yeah.
To sit next to your son. And have you been into the school yet for it?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
And did you ask what muff diving was?
Oh, I haven't had the session. No, God. I've asked a man to take that bullet for me.
I would have gone in like mad. I'd have took a little hip flask.
Yeah.
And I've been so funny.
Some notes.
But what do you teach a 6-year-old? I guess
I don't.
These are your private parts.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
A lot of it from the like the brief syllabus they outlined. It's a lot of it is kind of self-awareness. Knowing that your body eventually will go through changes. One hopes. Puberty and growth and hair or lack of. So yeah, I don't know. Perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it just seemed. I read the lines. Sex education. Coming with your boy, and I panicked.
Coming with your boy. That was the title.
Poor phrase of words. Poor phrase. I didn't. Yeah, no. Poor phrase. Oh right. That's other than that, it's kind of been hunky dory. Magic. My cat killed its first bird. That was quite nice. But I gave it an honourable death. Me and birds. I like to give them honourable deaths. Obviously, currently a corpse in my. If you missed the crack last spring / summer, family birds nested in my extractor fan in my bathroom. One of the chicks was pushed to the house side, so the inner side of the extractor fan, kind of its face crushed up against the vents, looking at myself and my wife as we showered, kind of like mouthing with its beak, help me. We just left it there to die.
Faster. As you and Amanda in the shower together.
So that bird died, horrible death. Another bird in my back garden, killed by the cat. I scooped it into a dustpan, I guess. Just scooped it in. I flung it over the back fence.
Over the neighbours?
No, not the neighbours. We have like the back fence is like council land. So
right. Off it went. Oh, love it. Some lucky fox will find that.
Yeah, dignified.
Stu, we've got some lovely comments from starting from Chris Lacey. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do I have to start here? Wait till high school. It's all about BDSM, anal, safe choking, and so much more.
Jesus, I didn't read it. I just read. I read Wait till high school. I was like, oh yeah, pop that Lacey, obviously, but
that's fine.
Safe
Hello,
choking.
Pete Turner's joined us. I think James looks sexy when crying to a movie, film, or holding a rabbit-sized cattle prod, which he said he wasn't afraid to use. Seriously, no shit. He's all about the rabbit still, isn't he?
Rabbit.
Yeah. Mookie, I'm 40 and I'm still not clear on a lot of this sex education stuff. I need a remedial class. Yeah. So, yeah, it's all a bit hazy to me as well, mate. Yeah, still learning. Neil J, my son's had 3 years of sex education and asked me the other day how people can have a baby if they're not married.
3 years of sex education?
How old is he, Neil, if you don't mind me asking?
How can I have a baby if they're not married? Because I guess they go, because when two people love each other very much, they get married and have a kid.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what sort of school you go to as well. If you go to a Christian school, is that a thing? Catholic school?
I don't know. Yeah. Midian says, sex education, put a video on of Dolph Ziggler and walk out. Okay. Sexual Tyrannosaurus. Dolph Ziggler. He's a well-known. He's a beast, isn't he? I'd describe him as a sex beast.
Who? Ziggler?
Yeah.
The wrestler? What?
Yeah.
He's a sexy man.
It's a running gag that I think Median said that Dolph Ziggler was when Dolph Ziggler was dating one of the Bellas, I believe. This is many years. This is a botchcast deep cut.
Mm.
Dolph Ziggler would destroy the heart of said Bella.
Oh God, Midian.
Yeah.
So rude.
He's a boy. What else we got? Alan D. Generous or Generous. I don't know how quite to pronounce that. I would love greatly for a shared learning session with St. Jimmy where he demonstrates sexual mechanics with a carrier bag and a fat arm.
I mean, is that on our channel when we did that?
What?
My sexual education videos. That's coming up. That's for future videos. We'll do sex education.
Is that
videos.
a new series? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, why not?
New bit.
Yeah, new series. I'm game. Neil J replies, his kid's 9, and it's just a normal school. Median's out. Peace. As a right drive by. Okay, that was my week.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. If you want to, if you enjoy the Renaissance Men, if this is your first time here, please do like and subscribe. If you enjoy what we do, then please, you can find us and support us in a number of ways. First up, obviously, we have our YouTube and Twitch channel, which is where you're watching us now, one would assume. And you can join in the community conversation over at twitter.com. And if you would like to support us with a little dollar bill, y'all, and you can chuck us over £3 and figuratively buy us a cup of coffee. All funds to be reinvested into the podcast. That's my disclaimer, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I like that little disclaimer there.
Yep. Right, but with all that out of the way, Jimmy, let's kick this show off in traditional fashion with some questions from our audience in a section we like to call Ask Us Anything. Here we go. It's Ask Us Anything time. We put a post out on Twitter at the Twitter channel, twitter.com/RenaissanceCast every Thursday evening, where we invite your probes. And Rock has answered, friend of the show, Adam the Rock Stone. He asks, which character from your favorite childhood comics, he clarifies, British, would you love to see turned into a TV show or movie? I don't really know many. I mean, my experience of British comics is, as most of us probably, Beano, Dandy. I also had was quite partial to Wizard and Chips, which I think was like a late 70s, early 80s one that kind of got discontinued around that time, but was then bought back in big old omnibuses and had very kind of the time comic strips. One I remember was called Store Wars. It's a blatant rip-off of Star Wars. Obviously, the font and everything was the same, but it was like a supermarket, like a Tesco-style supermarket, the owner of said supermarket versus the owner of like a traditional kind of what's the TV show with Del Boy in now? The open all hours, like the traditional village kind of corner shop.
Store. Yeah.
Yes, and it was like comedic misfortune and mishaps happening between the two because they both hated each other. Which was probably like a really in-depth commentary on capitalism, really. But no, I enjoyed it. It was great. Is
that something you'd like as a TV show?
Probably not, but I thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, it's fair. I think it sounds like it could be a good show.
This is all I've got.
A good show. I imagine it's probably been done. A big store being made next. Isn't that Sleepless in? No, You've Got Mail. That's the You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. She has a little bookstore, and he's owner of a big book chain.
Yeah.
And they don't know at first, and they fall in love, and then that'd be similar.
Yeah, that sounds very similar.
Similar. Any other comics you liked as a boy?
I liked it's not British, but I really liked Garfield. I was really into Garfield.
They've done films of that.
Yeah. But I think everything else, like you've got your Dennis the Menace TV show, haven't you? Did they ever do Bash Street Kids? I quite like the Bash Street Kids, and they never seemed to get the due attention that they were.
Yeah, I don't know if they did. Yeah.
No, they might have made appearances within the Dennis and Nasher series, but I don't think they've ever had their own spin-off.
No. If I had to, I mean, most of mine were superheroes comics. That's the most of the things I liked. They've never all been done, haven't they? But I'd say more Viz. Remember Viz?
I do remember Viz.
Yeah. They did a Fat Slags movie.
I did, didn't they?
I don't think I ever saw, actually. But I'd like, you know, Buster Gonads, Billy the Fish.
There you go. Was that Alan? Is that the title of the film? Surely not.
The slaggier one. Billy the Fish, that'd be fun. I used to have the Viz book of crap jokes, which I really liked. And one in particular, it was just two pictures, and the first picture was a chap, and he said, "Sometimes I just like to spoil myself." And the next picture, he had quite a long nose. He had a pair of scissors, and he was just cutting off his nose. Sometimes I just like to spoil myself. He cuts his nose off.
That's quite deep. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's a great gag. We had the cracking afternoon spent reading the Viz Profanosaurus at work, just picking out a word of the day, whether it is like gaseous clay. That's the one I always remember. Gaseous clay, a shit that what was it? Something something. It obviously had the butterfly, but the ending was stings like a bee. I can't remember it. Damn it! If someone out there knows it,
I think there's some untapped material there.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it. Maybe like
a segment. Oh, have I got to make a note about a segment, future segment?
What, untapped material of Viz?
Oh no, I'm just saying. Okay, no, forget me.
No, what I was going to say, maybe in claymation could be quite fun to do Viz.
I think any kind of animation, like Enter the Spider-Verse type.
Might be a bit extreme. Animation. But yeah, we've got some good comments in the comments section. Bash Street Kids, says Chris Lacey.
Yes, Lacey, Bash Street Kids, decent Judge Dredd TV series. Oh, Roy the Rovers, that would be cracking. Yes, that would be good. I'd be all over that. I used to love
Roy of the Rover. I think you've mentioned Roy of the Rovers before, or maybe Lacey did in an old show.
I always remember
creaming over it.
It wasn't Roy of the Rovers. It was Hot Shot Hamish, who I think it was a separate comic strip, like one-page comic strip, and I think he was a Scottish footballer with the hardest shot in the world. Basically, just killed people by booting the ball at them. That's quite fun. I could see that in anime form, like Fist of the North Star.
Pete Turner. Oh, I love Fist of the North Star.
Neil J asks. I'll get to that onto that in a minute. What does Pete say? Billy Whiz from Beano. Yeah, Billy Whiz. It's almost a Sonic the Hedgehog type scenario, isn't it? Really.
There you go, Pete Turner. Big one.
Yes, Pete. Thank you. A person with horrendously smelly farts as he floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. This is derided from Cassius Clay, which is the birth name of the famed boxer Muhammad Ali.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. Yep. Hours of entertainment.
Lovely. Lovely stuff. There's another question. There was a question as well from.
There was. I'll
Neil
quick answer. Neil asked, "Have you pre-ordered Jedi Survivor? And if so, what platform are you getting it on?"
Pre-ordered, Stu. Pre-ordered. Tell him.
No, I had to wait till payday, which is the day for myself. And
you didn't pre-order it.
I didn't pre-order it. No,
I thought we were going to show off because you already had it.
Oh no! I mean, it's out today, and I got up early this morning before work and bought it and downloaded it throughout the day. So it's going to be there on my PS5 after the show, and I can't wait to get my little mitts on that. Ooh.
So, Stu, you got up in the morning, got your joggers on, and you went down to a video game shop and bought it.
No.
Where did you buy it from?
I downloaded it from the PlayStation Store online.
I thought you said I could borrow it.
Oh no, that's gone out the window. I'm so sorry.
Changing plans. I was looking forward to borrowing a video game. That said, I've still got my my brother-in-law's Jedi Fallen Order, and I've only got on level 2. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I wouldn't have had that back for a long time.
No, it'd take a long time.
I have to say, if I do, how are we sounding, by the way? Hopefully we're sounding and looking okay. I'm a bit raspy this week because I have had another bout of tonsillitis. So I apologize if I'm a bit huskier and have to mute to cough. So do bear with me. It's it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I want those fucking things out. That's what I want. But there we go. Anyway. That was Ask Us Anything. So thank you very much. Any other questions, Jimmy? Got your eyes on the chat? Anything else come in?
No.
We're all
I think
good.
people are happy with our answers there.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, Rock.
I think they were good answers, Stu. You said, what did you say? The one about the shops, open all hours meets supermarket sweep, and Lacey gave a good answer with War of the Rovers or whatever it's called.
Roy.
And War of the Roses with Michael Douglas, and I said Viz, not fat slags. As good Viz stuff. As some untapped material with that Viz stuff.
I think so. Yeah. More British comic adaptions, please, Hollywood. That's what we want. Right, just a brief note. Coming up on the channel this week, we are trying a new way of recording this. So the Botchcast and Hot Takes will appear on the channel throughout the week. So do keep an eye on for those. We're going to record them separately and post them out during the week. So trying to keep a tight ship, aren't we, Jimmy?
Yes. Stu, just before you move on, one quick comment from Alan again.
Anime is very popular with those young men who walk around all bar one wearing bow ties, showing magic tricks to women.
It's a weird comment, that, isn't it?
Very popular with those young men who walk around all bar one. I guess that's is that a brand of bar? Okay.
Yeah, it's like Slug and Lettuce or something, you know.
Gotcha. I'm sure I've heard of it. Yeah. Wearing bow ties, showing magic tricks to women.
Yeah.
Do people do that, Alan?
Yeah.
Do people do that?
Yeah, there was a bit of a craze. I haven't seen it for a while, but I don't go out as much as I used to. Where
street magic.
They'd learn a little bit of magic and they'd go around. I'd say one of the best ones that I ever learnt, Stu, was some street magic from someone. I'll show you it, Stu. I'll show you it. Right, so here's a can of beer, normal can of beer, normal hands, Take the can of beer, okay?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Whoa! What do you think of that?
Tremendous, absolutely tremendous.
Learned that from the man in the bar.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Benj is into his magic a bit. He kind of likes to perform. I've got one for you. Ready?
No, now come on. I'm not giving you anything for that, Stu. Mine was a jet. Do you know how I did my one?
Of course I did. You went like that. You know that, you tit.
No, I didn't. Look how far away my hand is. Look, all my fingers are here.
Actually, I'm going to give you a genuine... How do you do that?
It is how you said, but
okay, you got really
just
long
have to
fingers.
really stretch out. When we saw it done in a pub, it was this chap who had hands like shovels. So his hand was like here.
One of those aliens from Mandalorian. Rodian. Oh dear, there we go. So yeah, like I say, look out for the Botchcast and hot takes coming to the channel throughout the week. Jimmy, you know, we are a bastion of kind of discussions around the hot potatoes of the time, the hot news items, and whether that be political discourse or rating the super hunks, anything in popular culture, we're all over it. So that's the point of the show where we come to now. It's where we discuss the latest hot potato. And it's a sad hot potato.
Yeah,
very sad.
It's a cold potato.
Yes, and ironically, said person will also be buried under the ground like a potato.
Hopefully, he won't sprout.
Sorry to anyone who
he won't sprout other potatoes.
Oh dear, yeah. The sad death this week of well, we didn't cover. Actually, no. Before we go into that death, let's do the other death. Poor old Dame Edna died.
Yeah, Barry Humphries.
Barry Humphries is dead. So rest in peace, Barry Humphries. So I think we need to kind of just acknowledge that before we move on to the more researched death that we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
I say
Barry Humphries.
Yeah,
Dame Edna will never die. Barry Humphries is dead.
Well, she did.
No, come on. Someone could easily put on that costume and run around.
And that is true.
Be seen on the moors.
Yeah.
That.
Jerry Springer is dead. Sadly, Jerry Springer has passed away this week at the ripe old age of 79. Oh no, is 79 ripe?
I don't. Not these
days.
Be
unfair? No, you're probably right.
I think you've got to get into your 80s these days.
I just want to acknowledge that that comment.
What?
Dedna.
Oh, Dedna. Dame Dedna. Yeah.
Dedna. Marvelous. So Jerry Springer has sadly passed away. Let me get the story up just so we can share that with you. No, that's not the link I was looking for.
That's your porn.
Bear with us. Really bad. Here we go. Jerry Springer, era-defining TV host, dies aged 79.
Era-defining TV host. That's absolutely right, isn't it? His show was absolute must-watch for the 90s, and it influenced all those other reality shows, other shows like his. What was his type of show called? Chat. Not a chat show. What were they like?
Well, it was, wasn't it? In essence, if you boiled it down to its essence, it's a chat show.
Yeah,
but he threw in some controversial elements.
Certainly did. Wrestling was heavily influenced by Springer, wasn't it? Like Russo was always banging on about it in the meeting room. Like, you know, what are people watching on TV? What are they watching? They're watching Jerry Springer. What are they loving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us about him, Stu.
Just a cultural phenomenon, wasn't he? Really, throughout the 90s and early 2000s. Like you say, it was parodied absolutely everywhere, whether it was on Austin Powers or South Park or The Simpsons, or everyone was parodying the Jerry Springer show, because I think it was so different, wasn't it? You know, when you turn that on and you were watching it, and you're thinking, what the hell is this? It's like jumping through my TV screen. It's this is madness. This is American madness.
Yeah,
mental.
It was absolutely insane to watch, wasn't it?
It was, but you know, sadly, his that is his legacy of dumbing down US TV.
Well, it was where you could get some. That's what, it's what you thought America was back then, wasn't it? In the 90s. I mean, it pretty much is.
Yeah, there probably was a moment where that was America's greatest export, which says a lot about that country.
Now, was he a mayor before or after?
I believe he had a political career before he went into TV.
Yes, and wasn't he disgraced somehow? Wasn't he getting with prostitutes or had an affair or something?
Oh, that I don't know. Let's see if it mentions it in here.
Which I thought was like the sort of reason
his show was so. He was an advisor to Robert F. Kennedy and served as mayor of Cincinnati from 77 to 78. After a failed bid to become governor of Ohio, he switched his career to TV journalism. Yeah, it's been going since 1991. The Jerry Springer Show began life as an ordinary talk show focusing on social issues and U.S. politics.
I think that they've missed a bit out that he used to...
They glossed over it.
Yeah, because it's his eulogy.
Yeah, which is fair. I suppose. He's still warm, bless him.
He's still warm in the grave. Jerry Springer's mysterious love life. Love life, brothel scandal, ex-wife, and dating struggles.
Oh, nice. Len Goodman also died. Welcome, Metal Maniac as well, by the way. 7, wasn't it? It's all about the 7. So many celebrities. Someone in the chat is saying that Andy Crane is dead.
Yeah, I've just looked up. I don't think it's true.
Okay, Alan, come on now. Let's not start spreading rumors in the chat.
Here we go. In 1973, just a few months after their wedding, a prostitution scandal rocked their relationship when councilman Jerry admitted to visiting a brothel disguised as a health club. What, he was disguised as a health club? How'd you do that? It's like that brass eye thing where the paedophile's disguised as a school.
Oh dear. Yeah, and I'd also say that the Jerry Springer Show was highly influential in kind of like the TV talk show format going forward, because once he'd raised that level of violence and scandal and, topics about God knows whatever, incestuous relationships or, anything that's, just bizarre and not talked about. Other TV shows felt that they had to then raise their level or lower their level, if you like, their bar of depravity. So it was like a race to the bottom, wasn't it, for a lot of shows?
Yeah, race to hell. I mean, that's Jeremy Kyle.
That was going to lead me on to our own version, Jeremy Kyle, which I quite liked in its own way.
No,
I had a soft spot for that show. Believe it or not.
No, it's sad. They only went on the show because they wanted a hotel for the night, and then you wheel out some poor bastard with no teeth, talking about how he thinks his missus is having an affair. Tragic. It was a freak show.
It was, and do you know what my opinion? It's very funny we're talking about this because I have watched that Channel 4 documentary. I think it's Channel 4. There's a documentary out there which is about the controversy surrounding the Jeremy Kyle show and the guest that then went on to kill himself, and there's a look into that whole scenario, and a further look at how the show was run and how guests were treated and exploited, using certain kind of tactics of the mind and promises of whatever money, and just kind of really using people against each other. And it's some very filthy tactics went down with the Jeremy Kyle show. And
and you've got to imagine
my support of the show.
You've got to imagine that was all done during Springer as well. The 90s, as fondly as I remember the 90s, they were a real horrible time for culture, weren't they? Like, have you seen that Woodstock 99 documentary on Netflix? No. The guys who did Woodstock, back in the day, 69, I think, when they did it, tried to do a Woodstock 99, and they just hired all the wrong bands. They were just hiring whatever bands were popular and not thinking, hey, we're trying to promote peace and love and stuff. So they were hiring Limp Bizkit and these big heavy bands. So all of the jocks turned up. Mate, you've got to watch the documentary. It's incredible. It's on Netflix. The place ends up on fire. They burned the place down. People were dying. Women were getting RPD'd, every left, right, and center, and it was horrendous. So, and that all stems from this Springer. So, as much as we can sort of go, it was so good and so funny, because it was at the time, it was not a good. It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, very much so. And Alan, go on, Jimmy. Yeah, so
I was going to say the clip that I've brought really. Have you seen it?
I haven't. I've just brought it up on screen, and I
brought a clip that sort of really encapsulates the Springer show.
I love this comment. One of the first Springer episodes was kept off air because 14 people were severely burned during a DNA test reveal. Wow. Started, you mean to go on, really? Peter, the bands are fine. It's the organisers were in it only for the cash. That was the problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not blaming the bands. It was terrible.
Probably all had good intentions. The bands, I mean.
The organisers were selling bottles of water, I think, for like $6 or $7. And like people would run out of money, and people couldn't drink. Loads of people got all like sores around their mouths and got ill. It's incredible. And the organisers just put their fingers in their ears, like, it's all fine. Wow.
So I tasked Jimmy with finding a highlight from the Jerry Springer show that would perfectly encapsulate that era of TV and that show in particular, and the man's legacy now that he's dead. So this is what you've come with me. I'm already seeing little people.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine something exploitative is coming. So, if you are not a fan of exploitative TV, best to turn away now. But do come back. Maybe give us a like and subscribe before you go, and then return. It's like, that's God.
Well, here's the thing, Stu. We're going to try. You're going to try and not laugh.
Okay.
That's the goal, I think, to try and look very serious and go, this is terrible. But it may be tricky. I'll be honest. I haven't watched it all the way through, but
that's dangerous. When you come to me with these clips and you haven't watched them, that's always dangerous.
But I like to react myself on the show.
It's like a live hand grenade. Okay, let's watch this. This was the Jerry Springer show.
Why would you get involved with this other guy who was coming in? He didn't do anything to you.
Can we hear that?
It's my work. It's my house. It's my
bit louder.
He comes here thinking he owns it. No, she invited him.
He surprised me. I told him where I worked, and he surprised me.
Why would you give him all that information?
Why not?
Let's meet him.
Listen to that crowd.
Yeah!
Baying for blood.
Yeah. And I'm all for representation, but they were clearly only brought on because, I think, for people to laugh at them. They're shouting midget.
Midget fight, they are.
Oh, God.
Now, I think these are actors.
I do suspect a lot of the shenanigans were stoked,
They just ring a bell.
That's what they do. Have you not seen the Jerry Springer show? It is like WWE.
They're letting them fight.
Yeah. The 90's. Fight naked.
No.
Jerry there. That's the first time he said anything. No.
That's the point. That's Jerry's moral compass right there.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're getting naked. Okay.
What are they saying?
Oh, that's interesting. what Lacey said here. A lot of the guests were plants, and the fights were a lot of low-level wrestlers.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could see that. Pole dancing. Mate, okay. Jerry. That's kind of simmered down now, isn't it?
And they get a round of applause.
But what I always found really weird about the aside from all this shenanigans about the Jerry Springer show, is he would then have this really kind of like, he'll bring it back down at the end of a show. You know, he has Jerry's kind of moment where he has this monologue to the audience. It's like kind of really profound or trying to be profound monologue where he then, I don't know, it's almost like he's giving you moral advice or giving you like a moral code, or just like it's like thought of the what's the thing on Radio 2, thought of the day or whatever.
And what was his signed off? What was his sign? Was it be kind to yourself and each other?
Yes, and each
Something
other.
like that, wasn't it?
Ding ding, bring all the midgets.
Midget fight. I mean, that was much worse than I thought it was going to be. But they had to have been plants. Like, who in the middle of a fight gets up on a pole and starts pole dancing? Like,
yeah. Sorry, let me get rid of that.
I know
it's I know
it's people didn't know they were plants. They might not have been plants.
Yeah, it's like the early days of wrestling, isn't it? You know, when they're still trying to maintain that it is a legitimate sport. But I think it's always not wrestling. I'm talking about Springer. It was always. I think they were always plants. Maybe in the early days when they weren't getting the ratings and they were trying to do like the political discussions and found that no one watched that, so they thought bring in the little people. At that point, they thought, shit, we really need to start kind of baying these guests and getting the worst out of them. Some
comments in the comment section from Lord Doolan has joined us.
Hello, Doolan. Yep, he's
I mean, commentating is what he's been doing here.
Clearly enjoying the festivities. Ha 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 ha. Lacey, we had Lacey's comment. Jerry. Alan says, sorry, I'm really nervous, so sometimes I type things without thinking. I have to leave soon as I've got a judo class at 11 p.m. Can I ask, will there be any videos of Jimmy crying into a camera lens? Most probably.
I think I'm like the new Sinead O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when at one tier during It's Been 7 Hours, that song.
Yeah. I know the one.
She cried. The camera's on her face the whole time, isn't it? And just one tear comes down. That's me. I'm the new Sinead O'Connor.
Hey, Alan, is your avatar a pink Wookiee? Pink Wookiee?
Yeah.
It's a pink
Wookiee.
Yeah,
pink chewy.
Lovely. Pink chewy. Yeah, I think well the hits we got on Jimmy's crying video, I need to milk him like the cow he is, the cash cow he is. Milk his tear ducts. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't cry as much on the last one, and it shows.
And the figures showed. Yeah, just saying.
Yeah, sorry, boss. I'll cry more. Mookie MC.
Shakespeare would have been a Springer fan.
Yeah, of course. That doesn't mean that's right. Does it?
Yeah.
He was good with words, but he was probably a shit.
Was Shakespeare considered like a purveyor of controversial material in the time? I don't really know. Like, did people think his stuff was revolutionary or gratuitous or?
So Shakespeare sucked up to the royals, didn't he? Like he did a lot of the royal plays, but there's some stuff in his plays where the fool is usually the one who speaks the truth, and there'll be some underhanded sort of digs at people. But no, he was in with all of that lot, wasn't
he? Yeah,
he just did it for the cash.
Yeah, cash haul. Old Shakespeare. There we go. Rest in peace, Jerry Springer. I think you've your legacy is such that it I don't think it'll be forgotten. And that's half the battle is leaving this earth with knowing that you've left something of worth. That rhymed. Shit, I like Shakespeare myself.
You got the hair.
But yeah, rest in peace, Jerry Springer, and all those other celebs that died this week.
Andy Crane, potentially.
Andy Crane,
Len Goodman, Dame Edna Everidge.
There we go. Right, Jimmy.
That was Death Watch.
Oh dear! In a funny way, I always liked it when a celebrity died because at least it kind of you knew what you were talking about that week.
Yeah, lovely.
Funny enough, if you watch the flashback episode of the Renaissance Men, it's on the channel, released today. I think that was about death as well. I think that was when I think when Robin Williams committed suicide. I think that's when we did that episode, because then that led into DRB talking about his suicide attempts, and it was a very dark episode, but very revealing.
Jeepers.
Very revealing. Yeah, go check it out. But obviously, there is a trigger warning there if you are experiencing, mental health issues such as that, and do reach out. As I said in the post on Twitter, please do reach out. But I think it is interesting to hear someone's side of how they've gone through that and come out the other end as he did. Good old DRB, love the boy. So yes,
yeah, Stu, I really feel for him, and I think I'll listen to that and film myself listening to it, and maybe I'll shed a tear and get some subscribers out of it.
Yeah.
That's all right, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, he was fine. He was fine with me releasing it again, so I'm sure he'll be fine with you then producing content reaction to it. It's all good. He's a good boy. Right. It's time for the Week in Geek. Jimmy the Saint, the Week in Geek.
We are.
We're here already. We're flying through this show. Yep.
Sorry, I was looking at the notes.
Where shall we go? I'd quite like to do some news,
Yeah, go for it, dude.
I've got some news. I'm hoping will kind of get your juices flowing. I didn't know this was happening. Beetlejuice 2 official. Did you know this?
Is it?
Yeah.
They've been talking about Beetlejuice 2 for years, and the story was it was going to be in Hawaii. But a long time they've been talking about it. More recently, with Keaton coming back to acting, I know that there's been more talk, and sort of Winona Ryder has sort of, I think, said, "Yeah, I'd be up for it." But tell us, because I love Beetlejuice. It's amazing.
That's why I added it to the notes, because I know your family are huge fans of the Juice. But Beetlejuice 2, this comes from CinemaCon, which I don't entirely know what this is, but it sounds like it's a convention for all things cinematic. Right. I know a number of big companies kind of like showed off their slate of movies coming up. Warner Brothers being one of them, and they revealed a sizzle reel during their presentation of logos, as IGN is reporting here.
Warner Brothers, the company known for sticking to their slates. Yeah. They revealed a sizzle reel of logos briefly showing the films at Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers showed off some film logos. That's how I should have dealt with that paragraph, instead of fumbling all over it. One of them being Beetlejuice 2. Fans of the Tim Burton classic have been hoping for a sequel since 1988. Have you been waiting since 1988, Jimmy, for Beetlejuice? No, I've probably been. I don't know when I've been waiting from. Maybe 2000.
Of course, Jenna Ortega is said to be in negotiations to be in it. Of course, she fucking is. She's in everything, particularly anything related to Tim Burton. Apparently, these days.
Daughter of Winona Ryder, though. That's good. That's good casting.
According to the same report, the sequel is set to begin production in May or June 2023, with Burton and Keaton both set to return. None of this is confirmed, of course, though we now at least know the film is definitely happening. So, yes, they plan to do it. It's just a case of getting the cogs in alignment.
I mean, it's one of those things that I really want and really don't want.
Yeah.
You know, it's careful what you wish for, isn't it? And
Indeed.
Beetlejuice is such an original movie. It's so bizarre. And Alec Baldwin, it's Alec Baldwin, isn't it? And Gina Davis.
Yes.
But he doesn't look like Alec Baldwin. He looks like one of the other Baldwin brothers in it. Michael
At this
Keaton.
point, it was like 40 years ago.
Yeah. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, that chap who got in a bit of I think he got done for diddling. The dad.
Dad's a diddler.
Yeah, diddling dad. Diddly did.
Diddling dad.
I think so.
Diddly diddly.
I've been told that. I haven't looked into it.
Sounds like a scurrilous rumor you just started there.
It was
based on nothing.
It was such an original film, and for me, I remember going into Blogsy's video store when I lived in Ashington, and my mum would be with me to rent a movie because she'd be usually renting me, you know, Predator or Running Man or Terminator. I needed someone over 18 with me because I was 8, and I'd see Juice on the, I'd see the case. I'd be like, "What's that?" And my mum was like, "Oh, it's a scary film, you know, ghost." And I was like, "All right." And she went, "But I think the ghosts help the people, I think." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that sounds all right." And I remember when I finally watched it, you know, there was a couple of little bits that scared me, but it's such a brilliant performance by Michael Keaton, isn't it? Such a brilliant performance.
Can I shock you?
I hate Beetlejuice. What?
I've never seen Beetlejuice.
That does shock me a bit.
Yeah. I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen bits of it, and I don't know. I've seen the start of it, and I've never just been compelled to see it through. So perhaps am I doing myself a disservice?
Yes, it's a really funny, imaginative film. It's great. Has Amanda seen it?
I honestly don't know.
Do it.
It's never been one that we've ever thought, oh, you know, if it's come on, you know, you scroll through Netflix and you think, oh, I should watch Beetlejuice. It's never been a topic of conversation ever. But no, never seen it.
It was back in the day where I was always a fan. I was a fan of films when people were movie stars. Do you know what I mean? You go, oh, the new Michael Keaton film is out.
Yeah.
So if I liked Michael Keaton, which I did in Batman, I wanted to see his other films. You know, what else has he done? And same with other actors back then. Now it's not like that, is it? You know, just because of certain actors in it doesn't mean it's going to be good anymore.
No, and I think you find these days that a lot of the top actors are in pretty much every film anyway. They somehow find a way of getting everyone into everything. That's what I find.
They call George Clooney the last movie star.
Yeah,
like the last gunslinger.
Yeah, it's probably a fair shout, isn't it? Really,
everyone else is just a whore these days.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, just a Marvel stooge, a Disney stooge.
Well, they are, aren't they? Everyone's a Disney stooge.
Yeah, they'll do Star Wars or they'll do Marvel, and then they'll switch. You know, and that's them for the next 30 years. That's their career set for the next 30 years, just switching between franchises. But you know, pays the bills, I suppose, isn't it?
Tom Cruise, I'd say, is a movie star.
Yeah. And you know what? Because he's selective. I think that's the thing. I think these days, I don't think the top, your top tier actor is particularly selective or choosy about the productions they're in. I don't know. Perhaps I'm being a bit harsh on them. But
no, I agree. I agree.
So Beetlejuice is coming, apparently. We don't know when. Lovely stuff. Something else that's coming that I think you might enjoy. So I've heard you talk about it. And that is Black Mirror. You know this?
Great show.
Yeah, Black Mirror is returning to Netflix for season 6 in June 2023. Netflix has announced that its hit sci-fi anthology Black Mirror is returning for season 6 in June 2023 and will star Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul, Schitt's Creek's what? That's bad grammar.
Schitt's Creeks.
Schitt's
Yeah, because
Creek.
the program's called Schitt's Creek, isn't it?
Right.
So it's got to be Schitt's Creeks.
Creeks. Right. Annie Murphy. Scott Pilgrim's Michael. Is that Sarah?
Yeah, Michael Cera. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Michael Cera. Yeah.
I've never known how to pronounce his surname, so forgive me.
Yeah.
And more. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Black Mirror it's a thoroughly depressing show, isn't it? But it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant what it does in kind of just making savage kind of swipes at modern day society and where we're headed as a people, as a species.
Right, so we've got more names: John Hannah, Josh Hartnett.
Oh, sorry, yes. Daniel
Rob
Portman,
Delaney.
Danny Ramirez, Himesh Patel, John Hannah, Josh Hartnett, Kate Mara, Michael Cera, Monica Dolan, Michael Doolan, Colin Doolan, Papa Lazarou, Rob Delaney, Rory Culkin, Salma Hayek.
Oh, she got married. She's got married to Mr. Peanut.
So there we go.
Zazie Beetz. I like Zazie Beetz. She's good.
Hopefully they'll tackle. I don't know. Have they done an AI episode? Surely they've done an AI episode.
Well, my favorite Black Mirror episode, funnily enough, of course it is the one that's very similar to Star Trek. You've seen that one, yeah?
Have I seen that one? I haven't seen them all.
It's absolutely incredible. Jesse Plemons. You know Jesse Plemons?
Yeah, I do.
Brilliant actor. So good. From Breaking Bad. Plays Todd in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and whatnot. He's not in Better Call Saul, sorry. He's in El Camino. Anyway, he runs a company with another guy who's a brilliant actor who was in Westworld and Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I can't remember his name. They run a company together, and he's the techie one. And he's got a virtual reality thing where he goes in and he is like Captain Kirk in Star Trek. You seen this?
No, I haven't. News to me.
It's an hour and a half long, the episode, so it's like a film. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'd like watch that as soon as you can, Stu. It's the best Black Mirror episode. Well, the best if you like sci-fi.
Yeah.
So check it out. And that's one of the best things about Black Mirror is just you don't know what you're going to get each time, do you? You don't know what you're going to get. You know, you might get the Prime Minister shagging a pig.
Yep.
Or you might get like a Star Trek episode. There was one episode which is effing tragic where a young lad is his laptop just comes up saying, "We know what you've been doing. We've been filming you. You need to do what we tell you to do." Have you seen that?
No.
And they've basically got a video of him.
Okay.
And he has to start doing these tasks for them, and it's so sad because he's just like this 18-year-old lad.
Okay, comment on cyberbullying, almost cyber blackmail.
Well, there's a twist. There's a twist.
Is there?
There's a twist.
I really liked that interactive one they did. I forget what it was called, but it was like the
Bumper Snatch.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
I think
it was based on like an 80s video game, wasn't it? And you had to, you controlled where the story went. That was brilliant. That's really good. Love that.
But that's the only one I haven't watched.
Yeah, obviously your mileage your narrative mileage may vary because depending on what you choose is whether you've got to find the story satisfying or not. But as a concept, I thought it was fantastic. Really good.
Great show.
Yeah. So there we go. Black Mirror returns in June, which isn't that far away. Is it really?
Scarily no.
No, indeed. Mookie MC is arguing that Brad Pitt the last great
movie star.
Who came first, Pitt or Clooney? Chicken or the egg?
Pitt was a movie star before Clooney, but Clooney was in ER when Pitt was like doing. What was the film that made him? It was the one with the two women who kills themselves, wasn't it? Louise and Mary. Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Just a quick hit. If you didn't know, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is coming to Disney Plus on May 17th. I was wondering this, and I googled it, and I found it. So I thought I'd share the love with you all.
I
May
have not
17th, Disney
seen
Plus.
Ant-Man and the Wasp:
Neither have I.
Quantumania.
Yeah, this will
Didn't
be
you
the
go
first
to the
time I watch it.
cinema? Oh no, that's right. You didn't
No.
go because it was going to cost too much. So you made your kids sit and your wife just sit in a car and watch a film through Dixon's window.
Exactly. The way the artist intended.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that, especially now that the main bad guy is under scrutiny for
Jonathan
bashing.
Majors, has been a naughty boy, allegedly. So but interesting. I wonder if they just kind of morph his face and pixelate it, so we don't find out who is Kang. We'll never know the actor behind Kang.
They could do that, couldn't they? When they release on Disney Plus, they could just CGI a face on him, a blue CGI sort of face, generic face.
Yep, they could make any change they so desire because it's just sitting on their server somewhere.
Yeah,
just sat there. Yep, there we go.
I wonder
So May 17th.
They won't explain that when will they? When they because they've fired him. They have fired him, haven't they?
Well, I think it's coming because his talent agency have dropped him. Everyone's dropping him like a stone. I think the only people not to drop him are Disney at the moment, but that may have happened and we just don't know it.
Yeah.
So I suspect it's coming, but people have been recast as we discussed in our chat, Jimmy, in the past. This happened in the MCU. People have been recast and nobody cares. We just just attach yourself to the next actor and away you go. It's not as if he's a beloved one. Thanos didn't really get a face essentially until I think when was it? Like when did Josh Brolin become Thanos? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was later on, wasn't it? It's fairly near to like the Infinity War films coming out. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, no, when he popped up in others, it was a big CGI head on someone else, wasn't
just
it?
Rando head. Head.
Yeah. There's certain people you don't want to see recast, and I haven't even seen the film yet, but I saw him in Loki. It's a shame. I did like him in Loki. He's clearly
very charismatic, very, very, and I loved him in what was that show about Cthulhu? Fuck me, I can't remember, but anyway, he's very good in that. Whatever it was. Yeah, very good. So memorable.
He's in Creed 3 as well, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I've got some news for you.
What you got?
Are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited now. You've built up really well.
Are you ready? Cole, you have survived.
Oh jeez. Oh no.
The mighty Colchester United. I'm not doing a 17 air horn salute or whatever it is.
No.
But no, let's come on. Let's. I'm going to get up some highlights. Let's see if they'll take this down. They have survived. They're not going to get relegated.
Were they close to being relegated?
Yeah, mate. They were near the bottom of the league for many a week. But they've come into a lovely run of form. 2 games left of the season to go, and Colchester United. Let's play these highlights. This was the last home game. Come on.
Wow, we're actually doing this. Yeah.
I think we might get a copyright strike. So I'm gonna let's turn the volume down. Let's see if that does anything. But let's play that in the background. But yeah, lovely stuff. We've won like 3 out of the last 4 games. I think it is.
Lovely.
Haven't lost in 6. I'm telling you, next season, Colchester United are going to be promoted. Ignore this. This is their other side scoring a goal. So ignore that.
Colchester are blue, right?
Yeah, ignore that. But yeah, in all seriousness, I was, it's my love. I love football. I love Colu. I love going. It's my release on a Saturday afternoon from family affairs. So it's lovely just to sit on the terrace. And it hasn't been a great experience.
Is that you there? Season. Was that you back there?
Was it a bald man?
Yeah.
No, I don't sit in that stand.
I wear my wig. Couldn't have been me.
That's the worst of where the ruffians stand. No, but it hasn't been a pleasurable experience this season. Having going out paying £40 a month to endure this rubbish. But they've come good.
What's a football?
Shit.
Stu, I'm going to shock you. I like watching football. I do like it. I just don't support anyone.
That's fine. That's
But I
fine.
enjoyed the World Cup. I
Oh,
enjoyed
you
the
went to see
Women's
the
World
ladies,
Cup,
of course,
didn't I?
didn't you?
Yeah, I
The
enjoyed
ladies
that.
and the live reporting.
I
So
wish I did like football. Me and Vass. I remember, Vass, good friend of the
I do.
shows.
Yeah.
He said to me once, he was watching, people watch football, and he said, I've never been that excited about anything as those guys are there. I've never had that joy and excitement that they've got. I was like, yeah, I wish I had that.
Yeah, it's I don't know how I acquired it. I think it's just a thing that's passed down to you. I think if I think it's as simple as if your dad when you're growing up, or your mum when you're growing up is a lover of football, then you're naturally going to gravitate to that, and you're going to get invested in a team. And when you get that kind of that moment where a goal is scored, then yeah, you just have that expulsion of just twat, shit,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah, but
I
it's it
get
hasn't
into
been particularly great. But we're staying up in League Two.
That's great. Are you at the bottom, or is there no bottom?
Well, the bottom two go down into
Right.
the out of the Football League and into the.
They're not allowed to play anymore.
Well, they play with the other shit teams around.
They play with kids.
Yeah. Well, not kids, but just the jobbers,
Shit munchers.
In terms of wrestling, you get the kind of out of the WWE into the leagues of, I don't know, NWA.
Big bingo halls.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh, what was I going to say? I can't remember now. Of course, we had the excitement, apparently, that Wrexham, the team owned by both
Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Thank you. They have been promoted, and they've been promoted into the league that Colchester are currently in. So that'll be fun. Colchester
Interesting.
We'll be playing Wrexham next season. Yeah.
So we might get Ryan Reynolds at Colchester Stadium.
Possibly. I doubt it.
It's called?
Possibly. The what stadium?
Colchester Stadium.
That'll do. I think they put more effort in. You've put more effort into naming the stadium than they have. What is it called? I think it's just called the JobServe Community Stadium.
Jesus.
Yeah, very nondescript.
They have musicians play there, don't they?
Oh, they do, yeah.
Do you remember I told you about I used to live in an apartment? I say an apartment, it was a flat. I used to live in a flat in Colchester, which wasn't too far from the stadium. I didn't know.
I lived down there once.
Did you?
For a very brief period, yeah.
Yeah.
When they were first building them. But anyway, carry on.
I wasn't that close. I was opposite that road that leads down to the hospital. Anyway, me and the wife were in the lounge once, and we're like, God, someone's got their music up loud. What are they playing? Fucking Elton John. Oh, God, that's so loud, their music. Ridiculous. Open them up, I'm like, that's so loud. Elton John. Blimey, and shut the door. But it was Elton John.
Guess what? It was Elton John.
Yeah, it was Elton John at the stadium. And I was like, the next day I found out on the internet, I was like, I could have sat on my balcony listening to Elton. Instead I was moaning. Just shows. Sometimes it's Elton John.
Yeah, you never know, do you? You never know.
Good way to live your life. I'm gonna have that as a catchphrase. When someone's moaning about something, you go, well, yeah, but just think, sometimes it is Elton John.
See, Lacey knows my pain. I assume Norwich. I haven't been paying. I don't generally pay attention to anyone outside my own league, to be honest. Now, but I assume Norwich, who are Lacey's beloved, are not doing well either. So Lacey,
how are they doing?
Any
Lacey?
drink
Where
left? I'd pour one out for you, but I don't have anything left. But yeah, always another season, mate. Always another season.
I think I mentioned before, listener of the show, good friend of mine, Lee Blackburn, is a big Norwich man.
Hello, Lee.
Canaries, right? Are they called the Canaries?
Yes.
Yeah. See, football.
Canaries. Soccer.
Yeah. So sorry, Lee, if they're not doing well. That sounded sarcastic.
Yeah. Let me just before we move on, let's just have a quick look at the table. It's not very really. I indulge my football side. I should probably do that more. But here we are. So Colchester here, 19th. There we go. Nice and safe.
Right. So Hartlepool and Rochdale went down, did they?
Rochdale are definitely down, but I think technically Hartlepool can still. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 games to go, and they can only get 6 points. So there is a 6-point gap, but they could technically. That's goal difference. So if Hartlepool scored 20 goals, then in theory and Crawley lost. Then in theory, Hartlepool could stay up.
Who went up? Go to the top. Who went up?
Let's go to the top. Leyton Orient, Northampton, and Stevenage are currently up there.
So one of them, or three of them, or two.
All three of those will go up.
To
and then
League
one of the next four. Yes. So 1, 2, and 3 automatically promoted. Jesus, it's like talking football with my mother.
Tell me more about it. I'm showing an interest, Stu.
Oh, you know, and yeah.
People don't believe me when I'm interested in what they're saying, but I am genuinely interested.
It's lovely. Top 3 go up automatically into the league above them, so that'd be League One. And then you've got the 4 playoff sides. These positions aren't final, by the way. They could change. But currently, Stockport, Carlisle, Salford, and Bradford will play each other, and in a knockout style. And the one surviving will be the 4th team to go up. So that's how it works.
And they go up to League One, and after League One,
League One, it's the Championship.
And
then the Championship, it's the Premier League.
Oh, Christ. So we're like League 4, really?
League 2 is, the bottom.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just call it 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Well, I don't know. Because, the Premier League is technically another entity from the...
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the Football League. So, they wouldn't want to be called... Oh, I don't know. It's a whole thing, mate. But, yeah. Footy!
Oh, it never ends.
Never ends.
But that's good.
Always the same.
Wrexham. It's good that Wrexham went up, because that will make for a good TV show for Ryan Reynolds and Rob.
I can't stand them, but I'm just jealous.
Did you watch the show?
I haven't. I probably would enjoy it, wouldn't I? To be honest,
it's good.
Seeing the part behind the scenes of the footballing world, but I don't know. It's the vast amount of money getting spent on that team that puts a bad taste in my mouth. I'm just jealous, obviously.
Right, yeah. So if they were doing it to Colchester...
I would love it. Absolutely love it. But no, I just wonder how sustainable it is. It just looks like a vanity project to me. But...
Well, watch the I'm surprised you haven't watched the documentary, because you'll see how much Rob certainly cares. He really does care. Ryan, you can never tell with Ryan Reynolds, can you? He's such a sarcastic person. You can't really tell. But Rob seems to genuinely care, because he's not super rich like Ryan. Yeah, like, he's rich, obviously, but he's not movie star rich. And that's why he got Ryan involved, because he needed movie star money.
He's some cash.
He says that. He says, I've got some money, but I needed movie star money. So, but yeah, it's a good show. It's on the Disney Channel. It's amazing. You're just not watching it out of jealousy.
I think probably, yeah. It just, the stubborn arsehole in me is just not wanting to watch it. But...
They don't suddenly win. Like, they don't do that great in the TV show. So it just shows, you can have all the money and bring people in, but
it does make it easier for them, though. When you just bring in a... Oh, no, I won't get into it. I'll go on a rant. Anyway, right. That's the news. That's all the news I've got for you, Jimmy.
It's fine. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's all right, wasn't it? What have you been watching? What you been up to?
Stu, what have I been watching? Again, loads of YouTube. Loads of YouTube. But I've been pushing my wife so much for us to watch movies together. And she said the other day she'd quite like to watch some horrors, because she likes horrors. And I was like, yes, let's watch some horrors and film ourselves watching horror films. Yeah, I know, leave the camera on. And I was pushing to watch The Terrifier. I know that's going to absolutely kill me. It's going to kill me if I do watch it. But the wife said, Mrs. T. Saint said, I'd rather watch The Faculty. Now, The Faculty...
Yeah, it's a classic. Love it.
A classic, right? I love The Faculty. Part horror, but part sort of... Is it a 90s film? It's probably 2000s, isn't it? Yeah,
it's probably on the cusp, isn't it?
Elijah Wood, Salma Hayek there, the T-1000, Robert Patrick, her who I fancy, can't remember her name, Usher, and Josh Hartnett. It's and Famke Janssen as well. For anyone who hasn't seen this, because this didn't really get the big, it wasn't like Scream or anything like that suddenly was like everywhere. But it's like it's a cross between The Breakfast Club and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And with kind of bugs.
Yes. Something happens in a school where the teachers and some of the students start acting weird, and there's a few people who it's not happening to. It's a Robert Rodriguez film, and I said to my wife when watching it, I was like, it's so not a Robert Rodriguez movie. And she was like, well, it is, like the title cards come up. I'm like, no, you're right. It is there, but it's just, it's not Desperado. It's not Machete. It's not Planet Terror. It's not those sort of big Mexican movies that he does, I know he did Spy Kids, but, Antonio Banderas is in it. But it's brilliant acting. And,
does it still hold up? I guess it's my question. Yeah. Still a cracking good film.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Most of the CGI is passable still. And there's some practical stuff in it as well, which I'd forgotten about, practical effects. And no one's annoying. Like none of the, a lot of times these teen film, you're like, oh God, they're going to say things that are annoying now, especially now I'm older. No one annoyed me.
Even Elijah?
No, he was brilliant. He was great.
I'm being mean.
The film starts off with him getting posted. And when we're watching it, posted, for anyone who doesn't know, is when the bullies at the school will grab the kid and hold him up and spread his legs and run towards a lamppost and post it. And when we're watching it, I said to the wife, I said, that used to happen at my school. I remember it happening when we were at school. Do you remember, Stu?
Yeah.
Did you ever get posted?
I didn't know. No. They would struggle to lift me, to be
That's where your size came in handy, wasn't it? That's where your size came in handy. And ironically, I said to the wife, I said,
come on, do it.
I said, I think I was posted, but luckily for me, because I've got such tiny balls, wouldn't even affect me. I'm like a sumo. A samurai warrior where they go in. It wouldn't have affected me. But yeah, it was interesting to see posting again, and it took me straight back to those days. I wasn't posted like in a bullying way. People would just post because it was supposed to be funny, wasn't it?
For the laughs.
Yeah, it was a laugh. But it's great. It's great for anyone who hasn't seen The Faculty. You do have to rent it. I think it's £2.50 on Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It may be
from somewhere. How deep did you search?
I checked Netflix, Prime, and Disney. I didn't check Sky or.
Oh no,
I'll tell you what we did, Stu. We went through our DVDs.
Wow,
that was nice. Yeah, we've got a massive. Because when I got with my wife, she came with about 1,000 DVDs. That was part of the dowry of getting with my wife. So. A few years back, we've got all the cases in boxes in the loft, and then all of the discs are in those zip folders. Yeah, so we've got loads
combined. Yeah, both methods. I like it, Jimmy.
But my wife will go, just rent it. It's £2.50. I'm like, no, but it's in here somewhere. I've definitely seen it in here. She goes, just rent it, and on the last page,
Mrs. T said,
I'm like, yes. Faculty.
Well done.
Just saved myself £2.50.
Yeah. Oh, well done, mate. Bravo.
Watched it on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, The Faculty, Robert Rodriguez film. Watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a great.
Bloody love it.
It's a good sort of gateway horror film. I'd call it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not horror it's not scary.
No,
but
I think it's in like that B movie trope. It's kind of. It's a bit hammy in places, but I think it celebrates that. I think it celebrates its hamminess and its corniness and its, you could see this being made in the 50s. This could almost be a remake. Is it a remake? I don't know. I mean, it could be, couldn't it? No, it's not. But do you know what I mean? It's for me, it's got that feel about it.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
Like a reimagining of this really like kind of deep cut 50s B movie.
Yeah,
about some some greasers and some, I don't know, some T-birds. And some
if
pink
you're
ladies getting mullered.
if you're a couple of 14, 15-year-old kids out there watching our show, and you fancy a film that's a little bit spooky, that means you'll have to snuggle up, but it's not that spooky.
Yeah,
The Faculty, chuck it on.
Get it on, and you'll get laid. Lovely stuff. Faculty. Well, that's a blast from the past. A lovely blast from the past. Is that it really for you?
Rogue One. We watched Rogue One.
Did you?
Yeah, the wife put that on when I was upstairs. Came downstairs.
Still good.
And do you know what? Actually, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, or is that Han Solo Star Wars? Because of all the crap that's been on Series 3 of Mando, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, made me appreciate Rogue One even more so.
Yeah,
I was watching it again. This is a good film.
It is. It's the best cinematic Disney, I think. Better. I think it's better than Force Awakens.
I enjoyed Force Awakens at the time, but now in all the retrospect, and the wife
it doesn't hold up as well, does it? Because you know where it's going. You know where it's going. You know where it's ultimately leading to. Oh, okay.
And the wife was saying this because she's checked out of so much Star Wars, and she's a massive Star Wars fan. She's got an R2 tattoo. But we were watching Rogue One. She's going, "This is what I mean about this is Star Wars," and other shows that she's seen recently. She's like, "They're not Star Wars." Just the locations, she was saying, are more sort of derelict, and it just looks like it could slot right in with A New Hope, doesn't it? I mean, it does lead on to A New Hope, but
no, and I think that's very much a conscious design choice they made, isn't it? I mean, it had to, but you're right that does give it that feel. I mean, Star Wars was always sci-fi wise, it was always a bit different, wasn't it? Because it was a very much lived-in world. It's like a battered, war-torn world, wasn't it?
Yes,
it looked like a galaxy embroiled in a civil war. So yeah, I think that's what turned me on about it a little bit. This well-worn world that we were kind of just thrown into, and I think Rogue One does capture that a lot. Whereas the newer films, a bit more glossy, a bit more kind of whimsical and witty, and very marvelly in their presentation, lose that traditional Star Wars worn, rough around the edges feel, which is what you want. You want I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're. That's it. That's exactly what the wife was saying. She was 100% right, and you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Because spoiler alert, they all die. It's nice that it's a standalone. They then obviously went back and did Andor, and it was like, okay. Ironically, it was the best of the TV shows. But the wife was asking me, because she didn't watch all of Andor, she only saw bits of me watching it, and she was going, is what Andor's doing now, does it hold true to his character before? Does it, And there was one bit. Have I frozen, Stu?
No. On my end, you look fine.
Oh, okay. There was one bit in Rogue One where they're captured by Saw Gerrera, and forgot how good Donnie Yen is in it.
Yes,
amazing. He's so cool. But they're in a prison cell. Donnie Yen says something. Oh, we've been in tight, worse cells than this or something. And Andor says, yeah, this is the first time for me, or something like that. And me and them went, he's been in prison. In Andor, he was in prison.
Yes, yeah.
So we're like, is that a continuity error? But then you're like, but he's a bit of a spy, isn't he? So he's never. You can palm these things off that he's just saying stuff.
That's easier to kind of gloss over, I think, or than some of the other glaring continuity errors that have been made in the wars world. But there we go.
That's me. Thank
you, Jimmy. Lacey, we don't talk about how Norwich is doing. Okay. Well,
Sorry.
say no more. Say no more.
He also said the Wrexham documentary.
He did. Recommendation for the Wrexham. Welcome to Wrexham on Disney Plus. So
Yeah,
perhaps
it's
I'll
great.
give it a go. Give it a go.
Stu, what have you
I'll wrap
watched?
this up, shall I? I've watched a couple of things that I just wanted to mention. First up, Strange New Worlds. I must have mentioned this several months ago. I watched, I think, the first episode. And enjoyed it, but kind of, I think I then said that nothing. I wasn't then. Something else came along, and I started watching that. It's probably like Andor or something, to be fair, at the time. So I then stopped watching Strange New Worlds, but I was enjoying what I watched. So I've gone back, having reacted to the trailer to season 2 last week. I said, I'm going to try and get back into Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I should say. And I think I've watched the first 4 or 5 episodes this week of a 10 episode first series, and yeah, really enjoying it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I love it. Perhaps it's because I'm not. Because you weren't. I don't think you was. Oh, I mean, you liked it. It's fair to say, but not like massively enthusiastic about it.
No, I
mid-tier Trek, is it? I don't know if you're ranking the Treks.
It's hard. I've sort of really lost. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. Like, as I said, I've just been doing a rewatch of Discovery season 1, and I really liked Discovery season 1. I've come to. I liked it the first time I watched it. It was very different to old Trek, and but yeah, I don't know. I said it last week. I like it when they're adults on the spaceship, and when they're doing things like fist pumping and saying cool, and
it's very
Marvel.
It is very whimsical, isn't it? Very kind of quippy. Like, we say that about a lot of stuff these days, but I think that is a modern trope in a lot of cinema or TV storytelling. They've seen the success of the Marvel style, and they want to replicate that as best they can. But I don't think. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not burdened by a lot of Trek lore, a lot of Trek history, and a lot of Trek fandom. I've just come into it thinking, I kind of want to watch some Star Trek, and
nice.
I want some modern Star Trek. I want something flashy and shiny, and that's what I get. And I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. I think that the cast are great. I like the character of, is it Pike? Is Christopher? No,
Pike.
The captain. Captain Pike.
Yeah.
And the actor that plays him, forgive me, I don't know the names.
Anson Mount.
Thank you. Uhura, she's great. The actress that plays Uhura is fantastic.
Yeah. Can't remember
coming in as like a real wide-eyed young Starfleet Academy. I'm assuming she's a graduate or something, kind of going through that process. But she's fantastic. Spock's really good. I think that's the best Spock since Nimoy for me.
Yeah, better than Zachary.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I liked the chief engineer. I said that last week. The Andorian.
Yes,
he's good.
The creature. He's very good. Is he meant to be blind? Is he blind?
Yeah. Do you remember I said last week they're a different type of Andorian. They are blind, but their other senses are like massively heightened.
Yes, and he's a pacifist, but he's joined Starfleet, which I thought was an interesting concept. But how they explained it was quite good, in that he's trying to do everything he can to stop war, I guess, and try and doing all that. So that's great, and I just like the episodic nature to it. Each episode is a separate story. There is a there seems to be a little thread forming throughout about the Gorns and stuff, and I want to see. I haven't seen a Gorn. I've seen a Gorn spaceship, and they've been pursued by a Gorn spaceship. But I want to see a Gorn. I need to see.
Oh, don't worry, you will.
Stu,
you're gonna have to give me 1 minute.
That's no problem, mate. That's no problem. So really enjoying Strange New Worlds. It's fantastic. Second series, I think I saw, is starting in June. So I need to get cracking, really, because that'll soon be here, like we said. But yeah, if you're a lapsed Star Trek fan, as I would consider myself, I haven't watched Star Trek for a good long while. Kind of just started to consider the concept of watching Trek since Jimmy's doing his reaction shows to Picard, and thinking, oh, perhaps I want to go back to that. And I have, and I think this is a perfect show to get into, because it's in terms of setting, it's the it's that era prior to Kirk coming onto the Enterprise in the classic series. So you've got Pike in charge of the classic Enterprise, and kind of boldly going to strange new worlds, as the title suggests, and kind of seeking out new life forms and new civilizations. So it's set in that period, and it's just a cracking good show. One thing I would say, and I'm glad you're back, because I do have a slight criticism about it. Pike has had this. I haven't seen Discovery, so I don't know. I haven't seen how they kind of came into it all, or how they were introduced into, and how those two shows interacted. So forgive me, but I don't think I need to know. Pike has had this vision of his death.
Not his death. He ends up. No, do you not remember how Pike ends up?
It's all like disfigured, but he's assuming it's his death. I'm sure he is.
Well, no, he's not. He's not dead. So in the original series,
because he's he's like a
So in the
isn't he?
You must remember this. In the original series, obviously the first episode is Pike.
Yeah.
And then it was Kirk, and in a later episode, they were going to a trial or something, and Pike was going to be there, and he's in a box.
Yeah.
With a green and a red.
Up and like burned, isn't he?
Yeah, with a green and a red light on it, and green is yes and red is no. That's the best. That's the best technology could do.
The 60s.
So in series 2 of Discovery, Pike went to a Klingon moon or something, and he touched a time crystal, which let him see his future.
Okay.
So he doesn't die; he just ends up like that.
Right. Okay.
It was very good.
My issue with that is it's almost like there's no like threat at all, because he's he knows, because he knows when he's going to die. He knows when this is going to happen. He says it's going to be in about 10 years.
Yeah.
So when they're going on these missions, and there's like these really kind of terrible scenarios that they're going into, you think he's thinking, and we're thinking as an audience, well, he ain't going to die. So where's the threat coming from? That's the only. I lose a little bit of that. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's the problem. Prequels, isn't it?
Yeah. But outside of that minor issue, it's a very good TV show. It looks gorgeous, and it's very kind of, it's a very easy watch. But that's not to belittle or diminish any of the kind of sci-fi stuff they're trying to do, because I think there's the episodes I've seen so far, there's been some interesting episodes, Sci-fi.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, that's a good question. I quite liked the I quite liked the last one I saw, which was the Gorn one, where they kind of, actually no, tell a lie, it's the one with Uhura when they're on the asteroid. And it's kind of like Uhura's first away mission. She's very much unsure of herself as a linguist, and she doesn't really know what her role is going to be. And they get stuck on this asteroid that's kind of heading towards this planet. And she has to kind of find a way to kind of communicate with it, and shenanigans happen. So that was a very good episode, and I like the little twist at the end when the comet goes by the planet. And it creates life by the water vapor that comes off it. So
I think I'm gonna have to watch series 1 again, because I might enjoy it more this time round.
Yeah, you may do. I think it'd be good to then lead into the second series if you are planning on watching it.
Oh, of course I am.
Yeah. So I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it.
Good.
And the second thing I've been watching is Malpractice.
Yeah. What is this?
This is an ITV drama. So read into that what you like. You may not be a fan of the stuff ITV produce, or ITV as a concept. I know some people can be funny about ITV. But Malpractice is a medical drama about I've only seen the first episode, I should say, about a A&E doctor who's on call one evening, and she has to make a medical choice, and it goes south. She has to choose between two people to treat, and leaving one of them with a doctor of lesser skill, a junior doctor basically with less skill and less experience. That comes back to haunt them, where the patient being looked after by the junior doctor dies. Questions are asked about her medical competency, and it looks like it's going to be an investigative show, but not around a serial killer or a murder or anything like that. It's about, within the medical world, and we're a family with a medical history. Amanda was a nurse, and we get a little bit of extra when we're watching something like that, and it's nothing particularly special. But it's just I think it's just a good, solid bit of British a drama, to be honest. And it's if that's your bag, then I'd certainly give it a recommendation. That's Malpractice on ITV.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Stu,
there we go.
Stu, out of interest, did you check out that Colin from Accounts yet? I recommended.
I haven't, no, mate. I haven't. Not yet. He's on my list. Another thing I just briefly watched was that Center Seat, that documentary on Prime about Star Trek.
Oh, that's correct.
That's cracking. That's really in depth. If you're a fan of Star Trek, go check that out. Really gets into the weeds. Yeah, really gets into the weeds of the history of Trek, and from its conception to kind of modern day. Really, I haven't watched it all. I think I'm at to the point where I think they're going to start talking about next gen.
Right.
And we've done the films. I think we're up to Undiscovered Country in terms of where we are into what they're talking about. But yeah, they'll then move into the next
how
gen
amazing
TV
is
series.
is all the Lucille Ball stuff.
I know. I couldn't believe all that. Couldn't believe it. I should have done, because you spoke about it.
Yeah,
but
you forget these things, don't you?
Yeah, we do. But yeah, really interesting story, the creation of Star Trek. Yeah, there we go. That was our Week in Geek. And Jimmy, it's time to round this show off and send it off into the ether with and finally story for you. So let's do that. And finally, now I noticed you'd put an extra story in the Week in Geek. I had to take it out because I'd also picked the same story for And Finally.
No way.
Yes,
no way.
Great minds think
Amazing.
Alike. I know, but I've got two. I've got two very similar stories. And the interesting thing about this is, as I was reading the first story, I noticed at the bottom of a web page, you'll usually get, if you're interested in this, read this. And it was a very similar story, as we'll find out. But the first one, which me and Jimmy our minds melded.
Amazing.
We're talking Star Trek anecdotes, similes, whatever. This is, how we like an object that looks like something else, particularly a food object that looks like, I don't know, a deity or celebrity or object, anything, and it could be anything. The latest object to suffer said celebrity status is woman. Oh, you can't see it. Let me scroll down. I can't go down further. But anyway, this woman has found apparently the visage of Her Royal Highness the Princess Diana, Princess Diana, in a pack of ham.
And isn't it interesting that this turns up at Prince Charles's coronation?
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
She's coming.
I can't see this.
No, I can't.
Where am I meant to be looking? It's like a magic eye. You have to look at it, stare at it for 30 seconds.
In the little picture, I think I can see eyes and a mouth.
Yeah.
Can you see in the little one? In the big one, I can't see it at all.
Eye, hair,
mouth,
cheeky mouth, neck. That sliver of gristle is her neck.
Yeah,
I think.
Gammon.
Yeah.
So if we're looking,
not so much.
No, I'm trying to even work out which bit this is. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at it wrong. Oh, wow. It's really not her in the big picture because I've just worked out how it sits in the little picture. Yeah, it's really not her in the big one. It really doesn't work.
Is there any other? And is that any clearer?
Oh.
What got there?
It is a bit, Stu.
I think so.
It is a bit. It looks like she's got one big. It looks like she's got an eye patch on. She's doing a Gabrielle.
I can't see it at all.
Actually, yeah, you got it.
Eye, bridge of nose.
Oh, do you know what, Stu? Move back. The further you come back, it reveals itself. It's there. It's there. I can see it. It is. It's Princess Di. It is.
Yeah, it's clearly Princess Di. It's clearly her. Back from the dead in a pack of ham. Hattie Ozma bought the packet to make sandwiches for lunch at work, but was shocked to see the People's Princess staring back at her. This 36-year-old said her colleagues were also really spooked by it, and one even offered her 30 quid. What? I'll give you 30 quid for that slice of ham.
No way.
For that amazing slice.
Great.
She turned them down and didn't eat it either, despite being ravenous. She just left it.
I was ravenous at the time. She's got the rest of the pack. Fat bitch.
I wonder if the visage kind of goes down in through the layers, or if it gets
every slice.
Down, every slice is a winner, or if it gets fainter as the slices go down. You could do like a ham flick book.
Yeah, she rots.
Talk about flick books tonight. She rots.
Gets more and more disfigured.
Yeah.
The last slice is post-car accident.
Yeah. This is a quote. I peeled the top slice off and ate it before making my ham sandwich, and noticed Diana looking up at me. I'm really glad I didn't eat it. Wait, what? I peeled the top slice off and ate it.
Ate it before. Yeah, hungry Hattie. She couldn't even wait to make her sandwich. She peeled on and went, and then looked down and was like, oh my God. I'll tell you what, let me tell you something. I hate breadcrumbed ham. I don't understand the point of the breadcrumb.
No, that is a bloody good point. I'm with you.
It adds nothing to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not crispy, is it?
No.
It's not going to add any flavour.
It's not pepper. Sometimes you get like mustard seed around the outside or pepper. I get that.
Which is fine. Or, yeah.
But just that squidgy orange breadcrumb is rubbish.
Yeah. That's a bloody good point. Welcome, Shinobi. This is apparently... that just there is apparently the face of Princess Diana. I don't know if you're British, but I don't know. But you may or may not be. But I don't think that matters whether you.
Everyone knows who Princess Diana
Lady
is.
Diana, now sadly deceased. Only just getting over it over in this country. Yeah, apparently someone found her face in a slice of ham. If anything, kind of looks like my head. If I turn like that out, like kind of.
What, the whole slice?
Yeah, like that's kind of like the hair fuzz that I've got. Ear. Yeah, actually need to be like this, don't I? Brow.
Fatty
eye.
forehead.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
It is, yeah. I'd say it's more you than Princess Di.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's more you.
If that wasn't enough.
Oh, Stu, you got more for me.
If that wasn't enough. We have
bird news.
Bird froth news. Woman thinks she's found an owl in her frothy morning coffee.
Does she?
I mean, come on.
It's good.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. Is this an owl or just a frothy bit of coffee? Who knows? You turn into Miranda Hart when you read that. Who knows?
Indeed. Amber Porter was making an unusual frothy pick-me-up when she looked down to find an owl peering back from the rim of her mug.
Why is this news? It's good bird news, though. You're right. It's good bird news.
Yeah. She stared at the coffee for a few more minutes and began to
Clearly
see the
doesn't
shape
like her
of a
job.
seal. What? Okay. Seal?
No, it's clearly a now.
Yeah, I think it's more owl than seal. But after sharing it with friends and having a few hoots, they settled on an owl. Oh, this is Portland, Oregon. This is American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently, going back to the ham, looks like Shinobi's Aunt Sally on a good day.
Well,
Meaty.
on a bad day, she looks like a slice of corned beef.
That owl was a real hoot. Says Mookie. There we go. There we go.
It looks like yeah, it's good. It's good.
Foodstuffs that look like objects or animals or creatures or stars or royal families. Right. Okay. That was episode 174. Before we head off, I just want to thank those that have joined us in the chat. There's been some stars tonight. Mookie MC, thank you. Shinobi, thank you. Lacey, thank you. Pete Turner, lovely to have you. Alan D. Genaru, I'm going to go with.
I presume that's a pun on Ellen DeGeneres, right?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord Doolin, thank you. Dumb Pete Turner. Neil J. Metal Maniac. Anybody else? Of course, each and every one of you. Your Dawsy or Dawazi. Midian, of course. Popped in. Always lovely to see the Midian come in. Of course, Havoc couldn't leave. Lovely stuff. Yeah, so thank you to each and every one of you that joined us in chat live, and indeed if you put in comments down below, thank you in the video comments. Thank you. We'll keep chatting to you. If you talk to us, we'll talk back. You're welcome, Mookie. Nice show. Thanks, fellas. Neil says thank you. If you're in the UK, I hope you have a lovely bank holiday weekend. Extended weekend over here in the British Isles. So enjoy it, everyone. Enjoy it. Like I said, we will have podcast and hot takes coming up during the week for you. So look out for those. Audio of this podcast will be available on your software of choice from this Saturday. And if you've enjoyed the show, then please do give us a like and subscribe. Like them and subscribe them. That's the term.
Please subscribe.
Please do. Jimmy, my thanks to you as always.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anything to keep you off the streets, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please take care and goodbye.